Wow, this text-to-speech is amazing. If you want to find out a little bit more about that, stick around to the end. Hey, I'm Henry and I'm from Product Creation Formula, and here at Product Creation Formula, we love to give you tips and tricks to help you create your products quickly and easily. Along with that, we also do product reviews, as well as tips on how to make money online. So if that's the sort of thing that interests you, how about you smash the like button, as well as subscribe and hit the bell icon so you can be notified when we upload more videos. Alright guys, let's go check it out. Let me introduce you to a site called �11Labs. Now �11Labs is a speech-to-text software, but I have to say, it's one of the best I have ever seen. The emphasis it puts into the words is just amazing. I'm going to give you an example of a story that I've written by ChatGPT, and I'm going to actually put that straight into here, and it does a couple of things. This can create AI voices from its own library of voices, plus it allows you to be able to clone your own voice. Now the cloning of your own voice is a little bit funky. It's kind of cool, but it's kind of not as well. I'll explain a little bit more about that a little bit later on in the video. But right now, let's go and have a look at the pricing before we go in and have a good look at everything else. First of all, it's a really good free plan, okay? With a free plan, you can get 10,000 free credits per month. There it is right there, 10,000 characters per month you can use to generate voices. You can't use the voice cloning, but you can use it for just generating voices. And the best part about it is it doesn't have a watermark at the end of it either. But you do need to give attribution. However, they've also got this other one where you can do long form speech synthesis, 30,000 characters per month, which is $5 per month. Or you can do the narrator for AI content, which gives you 100,000 characters per month, which basically gives you 12 10-minute videos per month, give or take. And you've also got over here independent publishers, which is $99 a month, and it gives you 500,000 characters per month, which is about 10 hours of voice generation, and so forth. It's up to you where you want to go with this particular one. I will leave a link for this in the description down below. I'm currently using the creator one, which is the $22 a month, and we'll have a look at what it sounds like. Now, this one, I'm not going to be using the intro clone. I'm going to be using Adam to start off with, and I'm going to generate the voice. Now, as you can see, I've created a few. I've used up almost 50,000 voice credits, but that's okay. I'm doing this specifically to test it out and to see what it's like. I'm going to just generate this using this particular one. It doesn't usually take too long. Now this is going to take a little tiny bit longer because it is a slightly longer text. I'm using 1,200 credits, or should I say 1,200.
Chapter 2. Carl had been frantically searching for his son, Kel, since he saw him fall into the rushing water. He ran down the riverbank, calling out his son's name, hoping desperately to see him again. Suddenly he heard Kel's voice behind him. "Dad, is that you?" Kel asked, confused. Carl turned around and his eyes widened in shock. It was Kel, standing near the riverbank, looking as if he had never been in the water at all. "Kel!" Carl exclaimed, rushing to his son and embracing him tightly. "Thank goodness you're okay. I thought I'd lost you forever." Kel hugged his father back, feeling relieved to be back home, but also confused about what had happened. He had full memory of his time in the other realm, but he wasn't aware of the time difference. 2 years had passed for him, but for Carl, it had only been a few minutes. How are you still dry, son?" Carl asked, looking at Kel with a mixture of confusion and relief. Kel suddenly realizes that hardly any time has passed here on Earth in his home realm. He decides to go back to the campsite and explain everything he has just been through. And he also proves his claims by showing him some of his magic.
Isn't that amazing? I mean, like how this thing uses the emphasis in the voice and just really elevates it. And when he does that, when the voices are talking, it actually sounds like somebody is narrating a story because it uses emphasis in the correct place. That is why I'm saying this is amazing. You can also use this for things like narration, and also have a look at this. Now that's just Adam. You might be thinking, well, Adam's pretty cool, but let me show you some of the settings before I go too far. This was set at stability. This is on the default setting, which is stability 75 and clarity 75. Now, if you were to reduce this, you'll end up with a higher voice intonation, but this one here will make it a bit clearer. So let's now regenerate the voices now and have a quick listen to what this is going to be like. Now be aware, it will make it give it a bit more emphasis, but it could possibly make it sound a little bit more robotic as well. So just be prepared for that. I'm going to generate this and we're going to see how it goes. I'm going to pause the video till it does that.
Carl had been frantically searching for his son, Kale, since he saw him fall into the rushing water. He ran down the riverbank, calling out his son's name, hoping desperately to see him again. Suddenly, he heard Kale's voice behind him. "Dad, is that you?" Kale asked, confused. Carl turned around and his eyes widened in shock. It was Kale, standing near the riverbank, looking as if he had never been in the water at all. "Kale!" Carl exclaimed, rushing to his son and embracing him tightly.
I'm going to show you. Go over here. Okay, it's set on default again. I'm going to take that up to about here and set that up here. I'm going to choose Anthony. So we'll choose the pre-made one called Anthony, and we will generate this and we'll see how it goes. We'll just generate it and see how it goes. Oh, here it is down the bottom. As you can now see, it's now generated. So we'll pause the video until it's finished.
Chapter 2. Carl had been frantically searching for his son Kale, since he saw him fall into the rushing water. He ran down the riverbank, calling out his son's name, hoping desperately to see him again. Suddenly, he heard Kale's voice behind him. "Dad, is that you?" Kale asked, confused. Carl turned around and his eyes widened in shock. It was Kale, standing near the riverbank, looking as if he had never been in the water at all.
Okay, so as you can see, the emphasis in the voice is just amazing. The way he changes the voice to make it sound like it's actually, it's somebody talking. Now, I used a clone of my own voice, and it does something really funky. It turns my Australian accent into an American one. Yeah, I know. Let's have a look at this. And I'll just try this one here, the one that says intro, outro, and we'll have a look at that. And we'll clone this one here. And actually, you'll hear, it sounds like me speaking American with an American accent.
Carl had been frantically searching for his son, Kale, since he saw him fall into the rushing water. He ran down the riverbank, calling out his son's name, hoping desperately to see him again. Suddenly, he heard Kale's voice behind him. "Dad, is that you?" Kale asked, confused. Carl turned around and his eyes widened in shock. It was Kale, standing near the riverbank, looking as if he had never been in the water at all. "Kale!" Carl exclaimed, rushing to his son and embracing him tightly. "Thank goodness you're okay. I thought I'd lost you forever." Kale hugged his father back, feeling relieved to be back home, but also confused about what had happened. He had full memory of his time in the other realm, but he wasn't aware of the time difference. 2 years had passed for him.
Now, that was essentially my voice, and for some reason they put American intonations in it. And of course, I don't use an American accent, and it's kind of interesting to hear that's how I'd sound if I used an American accent, I guess. It's pretty good. I prefer Descript for my own, because it clones my own voice exactly, which is exactly what I want to hear. And this one, on the other hand, adds an accent to it, which is kind of cool in a way, because then it doesn't actually sound like you specifically. But yeah, it's I kind of like it, if that's what it sounds like. But if you want to know how to actually clone, all you have to do is go over here to hit add, and then what you need to do is you need to start downloading. Go here to add voice, and what you do is you download some voices of yours, anything you've pre-recorded, and you can then add some pre-recorded voices to here. You go here, or you can also design entirely new voices using our generative mode, and you can click on that and you can choose whether it's going to be male or female, going to be young, old, young, middle age, or old. We go middle age, and we can choose the different accents, and we can go Australian. Okay, and then all we have to do from here is generate. Let's see what it comes up with. It's only using 128 characters.
First we thought the PC was a calculator. Then we found out how to turn numbers into letters, and we thought it was a typewriter.
Let's turn the accent up a little bit and see what it's like. I want to hear what the difference is like.
First we thought the PC was a calculator. Then we found out how to turn numbers into letters, and we thought it was a typewriter.
That's a really bad accent, to be perfectly honest. It sounds like I'm English. It sounds like an English person rather than a... Let's now go all the way up to the very top and see if that improves it a bit. Because it sounds more like an Englishman rather than Australian. It'd be funny to hear what the difference is like.
First we thought the PC was a calculator. Then we found out how to turn numbers into letters, and we thought it was a typewriter.
Nah, that's just terrible. That is absolutely terrible.
First we thought the PC was a calculator. Then we found out how to turn numbers into letters, and we thought it was a typewriter.
Yeah, no, that I have to say, that's not cool. I won't be using that. But this is called 11 labs. Alright guys, if you got some value out of this video, how about you smash the like button, as well as subscribe, and also hit the bell icon so you can be notified when we upload more videos. Hey, while you're at it, why not consider sharing, and also leave a comment down below and let me know what you think of this video. Now I just want to let you know that right here is a video I believe you might like. Down here is a video YouTube thinks you might like. And right here is an image of my head. Now if you click on that, you'll be able to subscribe. Alright guys, thank you so much for watching. Bye for now.